In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys step by step on how you could build a bike just like mine for less than $1,000. Now, starting off with step one, the first thing you're going to want to do is head to Facebook Marketplace and try and find yourself a bike. Now, it hasn't even been 10 seconds and I already found this one for only $200, but I could probably get the guy down to only $100. Now, as you can see though, this bike isn't in the greatest condition, but it should work for the build, and most of the stuff that's already beat up and terribly painted we're going to be replacing anyways. And for this video, I'm going to be putting the price of $100 on this bike just because the price really varies a lot and you could find these all over most of the time for even cheaper. So we are now $100 into our $1,000 budget, and the next thing we're going to want to do is head over to Amazon. So with this being a budget build, you are going to be getting budget products, and for my build, I went with this exact battery right here. This one would be great as well, but it's kind of sketchy considering it's 60 amp hours, which it's 50 amps, and it's pretty unusual, so it's going to be much cheaper cells. Both these are definitely going to be Chinese batteries, but I personally went with this one, so let's just say you did. And I went with the 20 amp hour one, which is only $350. It's currently not available right now, but it usually restocks pretty often. So now we gotta find a motor. So for my build, I went with this motor kit right here, which the motor's actually been working great, but none of this worked with my build, so we're definitely not gonna be going with any of these. And 3000 watts should be plenty for a 72 volt system. Now personally, I wish I would've gone with this one. This one includes a chain, sprocket, throttle, motor, controller, everything is plug and play. I ended up putting this exact controller right here on my current build, which has been amazing, so let's just go with this one. So now we have our main components, which literally just with these two alone, you could already build your own bike. This battery ended up going with the 17.5 amp hours, which is a little less, but it's only $299, and you could go with that one. But really, you could choose any battery of your liking. Just make sure it's 72 volts and 50 amp hours or more, so it can support this motor system. But in almost every 72 volt case, I would always recommend going with this exact motor right here. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier, but make sure you get the one with no bracket. If you get the one with the bracket, you're going to need to cut that off for it to fit on the RZR, so make sure you get the one with no bracket. So now that we found the main components of this bike that are going to work perfect together, now let's go ahead and find the stuff that's going to make this bike look like an actual bike. So first up, we got plastics. These are the exact ones that I got for my build. They've been amazing and they look super clean. And of course, you don't need to get new plastics, but for a clean build, I would totally recommend it. Next up for the seat, this is the exact one that I use, but this one's a few dollars cheaper and it's the exact same one. So let's go ahead and add this one. Now for the rear shock, this is the exact one I went with. I went with a 750 pound on 190 millimeter, which has been great, but 750 pounds has been a little bit stiff. So I would recommend getting the 500 pound option if they have it. And also 190 millimeters did lift up the back of the bike a little bit, but I kind of like it. So I'm just gonna end up going with this one right here. Now these are pretty much the exact brakes that I got on my build. They were amazing, they're super quiet and literally lift up the back of the bike whenever I use the front brakes, so they are amazing. So let's go with these. Now this is the exact paint I went with. It's just basic Rust-Oleum paint and primer, and it's black. This is the matte black finish, which ended up turning out great for mine. I will say it does scratch off pretty easily though, so you might want to get an enamel or something to cover over it after this one. Now this is completely optional. I didn't end up going with this, but I would recommend getting some new handlebars. These ones are great, so I'm just gonna add these to the cart as well. And of course, we need to get ourselves an ODI downhill plate. Every Sur-Ron owner, every Talaria owner, every owner of an e-bike loves to get one of these things. They're just so clean and finish the bike so well. Now this right here is on AliExpress, but this is the exact headlight I went with. It's indescribably bright, and this has been by far my happiest purchase on this bike. I can't believe this is only $37 for this good of a headlight, and it literally lights up so much brighter than a car headlight, so I definitely recommend going with this one. The only issue is how long the shipping takes. And on my build specifically, I went with this exact voltmeter right here, as well as some fake Pro Taper grips. These ones are all black though and look a lot nicer, as well as a Sur-Ron throttle. But if you go with these, you're gonna need to do some soldering and extra work. And the kit that I already showed you guys includes all this stuff already, except, you know, these exact ones. So I would recommend just sticking to the one with the kit unless you want to do some soldering and make it look a little bit nicer in place. And personally, I didn't get upgraded front forks for my bike. I might soon, but I personally didn't need to, and I felt like the stock ones were already great. But just because we got some extra budget room, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this into the cart as well. And as you guys could see, we are now just over $1,000 and about $40 for the headlight as well. But obviously a bunch of this stuff, even the front number plate, new handlebars, is completely optional. You could get away with just paying $600 plus $100 for the frame to go ahead and get all of this and have a fully functioning, running, fast bike. So it's really up to you. I just like to have my bike looking nice. So there you guys have it. That's full build breakdown. You could easily get all the parts you need for this for less than $1,000. For me, I paid just over $1,000 for everything. But if you guys want a video on how to assemble everything, I'll happily do it. I just didn't feel like making it in this video specifically. But thank you guys all for watching. And if you don't mind subscribing, that would help me a lot. This is a new YouTube channel. I also have a TikTok account with about 30,000 followers. And of course, I'll drop a link down below for almost all this stuff. I created a list on Amazon a couple months ago on what I would do if I were to start over on a bike build. So once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.